All right. Hey, welcome to today's episode of In the Zone with Victor Bell, where I go over all things money, finance, real estate investing, business, everything that excites me really about money and creating wealth for you guys that join me. So thanks again for that. I really appreciate it. And it was something that kind of came to my attention. I was talking to somebody the other day about this, and I was telling them, like, I remember writing my goals down in like 2007 or 2008, and I wrote down there billionaire, $1 billion worth of real estate, right? And that thought came to me because I remember specifically sitting in a real estate seminar. I'm probably talking loud. I don't have to do that. The mic's right here, right? But I remember sitting in a real estate seminar, commercial real estate event in 2006 at Scott Shield, J. Scott Shield Commercial Academy. I was learning way back then how to do multifamily because I've been doing this for a while, And I remember specifically, T.R. Vecker came on. That was back when they had a bunch of speakers. T.R. Vecker came on, and he was like, the guy from the Millionaire Mind, right? Great guy. He was one of my mentors. I learned a lot from him and his trainings and his teachings and seminars. But he was like, whatever your goal is right now that you want to achieve in your real estate business, take a look at your goals, how much money you want to make, how much real estate, and then I want to challenge you guys to do something, right? Think differently, think bigger. Is write a zero at the end of whatever that number is. And I think I had on there at the time $300 million worth of real estate. To me, that was massive right at the time because, dude, I was doing real estate. I've been doing real estate this whole time, but I didn't know what I was doing. That was my first time going to an actual like real seminar to teach you like financials and all that stuff. But it was like now all of a sudden it went from 300 million to $3 billion worth of real estate. $3 billion. Like I was like, my freaking brain could not think with that. And most people's brains can't, to be honest with you, right? So I remember, like, on the break, he left. He did this speech. I bought all of his stuff. I ran out in the hallway as he was walking, and I walked up to him, and I was like, hey, thanks so much, Mr. Ecker. I appreciate that. You inspired me to think bigger about what I was doing, as a matter of fact. My goal that I wrote down was 300 million. I'm going to buy $3 billion worth of real estate. And he kind of looks at me and is like, okay. And turns around and walks off. Now, if you know anything about me, I'm a guy that keeps a chip on his shoulder. Like, if you want to see me get good at something, ignore me, blow me off, tell me I'm not going to be able to do it. Like, I made a 1,000% commitment to myself that guy is going to remember who I am. Now, he did remember who I am because I went to seminars, took a bunch of trainings, but it wasn't for the real estate stuff. I bring that up for this. A lot of people know, man, my camera is going crazy, but a lot of people know exactly how to get money. They know how to keep it, but very few people know how to multiply money. And the reason why they fail at multiplying money, number one reason, is because they don't think big enough. And I know you're probably like, yeah, Vic, I think big enough. I have a business. I make $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million revenue in my business. Great. But how do you grow from there? How do you multiply what you've already done? Right? And I'm going to go over the three things for me that I have learned over and over again. I continue to apply it. I continue to expand myself and where we're going with our real estate business, right? And it's the three things about creating wealth, the 3 steps to building wealth. All right. I'm going to write those down. All right. I got like a bigger marker this time. So the number one thing, and we're talking about building wealth here, right? So the number one thing is to be able to get money. Get money. That's the number one thing you have to do. The number one thing. Can you see that? I'm going to move this over something so you can see it. This way. There we go. Number one thing always as it relates to building wealth is you have to focus on getting money. You don't have to earn money. Money's already out there. Like, earn money means that you're going to trade your business, your service, your product, or whatever. It has to be good. But the number one focus in creating wealth and building wealth is always going to be you got to focus on going out to get money. The reason why I changed earn money to get money is because when I focused on getting money, then instead of focusing on earning money, like going to buy a property or sell a product or your service, now instead of the what, you have to focus on the who, right? You don't need to focus on the what so much, because when you focus on who you're going to go get money from, the thought process changes. You can't go after like people who don't have money to afford what it is that you do. Period. Right? So the who is more important than what you do. For years, man, I failed there. Goes right back to like, how do you become a billionaire? You can't focus on earning enough money to go buy enough real estate. You got to focus on, man, who's already got the money that I can go off and say, hey guys, look, if you guys want to invest with me, I'm going to go find the deals, fund the deals, manage the deals, and send you a check every month. Once I actually grew my business enough to go find the deals personally, and then I was like, hey man, I got this really sexy property. Do you want to invest money in it? They were like, hell yeah, I want to do that. I stopped bragging about my skills and what I learned and how good I am at finding them, blah, blah, blah. All that went away. So think about that. For you, if you're going to build wealth, you got to get over it and go, dude, I need to go collect money. I need to go get money, and I need to focus on who has already got the money that I'm looking for. Number two, you need to learn how to keep it. Keep money. Boom. This one right here comes over time. I'm just going to be honest. Most people already know how to get money. You already have a business. You're already making $1 million a year, $2 million, $5 million a year. And you have a bunch of people out there. We're all raised on this, right? Your parents already told you, don't blow your money. Save your money. Don't do this. But we're talking about building wealth. And I know I talk fast. When we're talking about building wealth, we're not just talking about saving money, right? Don't spending it and being cheap. I'm talking about, when we're talking about wealth, right? This is about the tax game. This is about taxes. Boom. How much money can you keep? Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you already get it. You aren't looking to run off and blow all your money. You're going to buy something that you can write off. You're going to put your money in your business. You're going to reinvest it in yourself, education, marketing, sales, whatever it is that you do in your business as an entrepreneur. These are the things that a lot of people have a real understanding about. But here's where they fail. This is where, when I was earlier on, that was my mind-blowing thing that I talked about the wealth thing, right? This is number 3. This is the big one. Multiply. Multiply. Multiplying money. Most people have no idea that this is really the wealth game. It isn't getting money. It isn't keeping it and not paying a lot of money in taxes and looking and saying, hey, look, we still have net or whatever it is that, $1 million or $5 million a year net after it's all said and done, and we didn't pay any taxes on it. That's not the point, because you can't really build wealth until you multiply. I was going to say maximize your investments by investing it in something that multiplies it. What is that? That's real estate. It's only really 2, or businesses. There's other stuff you can invest your money in, but this one I would say multiplies the fastest. This one may be the second if you're going to do any investments, right? But both of them really fall along the same lines. But the problem is most people aren't thinking big enough, right? So think about it like this. Let's say you got $1 million. Let's say you got $1 million business. You're doing $1 million, right? This is what the conversation was when I talked about like when I got started with T.R. Becker. In that capacity, it was like, dude, let's say your business made $1 million, or you do real estate, you make $1 million a year. The goal isn't like, how do we make another $200,000 the next year? Plus, how do we plus that? The goal should be, which is what the conversation most people need to be thinking about, is talking about multiplying and building wealth. It's like, how do we go to $10 million? Like, that's the new number for you. Because if you do this, now you need what? New people. You need new people. Goes right back to the who. Who do you need to get now? Right? Not necessarily what do you need to do, but who do you need to get? Who's the people you need to meet? Right? Because this is a whole new thing. Right? You're going to have what? New situations, new problems. I can tell you, man, as soon as I made the decision, sorry about the fuzziness. As soon as we made the decision about like, look, at some point we're going to move into buying $1 billion worth of real estate. What do I need to do? Man, I needed to be like, hey, what don't I know? That was number one. So I already know the real estate stuff. I needed new people, new brokers that control the 200 units, the 300 units, the institutional quality assets. I needed to look like, matter of fact, when we were buying multifamily properties in Hawaii, like I had to use local banks and basically regional banks, right? Like everything that handled Hawaii. When I moved to California and I was like, dude, we're going to buy $1 billion worth of real estate. Do you know that I can't use the same banks from Hawaii? One, they don't go off Hawaii. And two, the banks and connections that I had made, that I have a great reputation with, references, I've got loans with them, we've paid off stuff, they're my credit references, I could no longer use those people anymore. Why? Because my goals changed. And I'm at $1 billion. I'm thinking about a $1 billion goal. But in this example, 10 million, right? So like I said, you're going to need a new group of people. Who do you need to know? Who do you need to meet? You're going to have new problems. What don't you know? What don't you know that you thought you knew? Or what do you know that no longer serves you where you're headed? Because I can promise you, if you made $1 million in your business and you walked away from that and you were like, dude, next year we're going to make $10 million, you're going to have a whole new set of problems that you didn't even think about. And you need to be thinking about them. Like, I need a new set of problems. What are the problems I need to be focused on right now getting to this new $10 million goal I got, right? All right. And last but not least, what was it? It was new problems, new people, and you're going to need to be like around new thinking. New big thinking. So I can tell you, like, when I had that scenario, when I wrote down the zero and it was like $3 billion worth of real estate, the reason why I didn't grow as fast is because I went back in my past environment, the people that I was hanging around with when I left and went there with this goal to just buy real estate, period, to go get better at buying multifamily properties, to my old people that I had a relationship with that weren't thinking about me doing $3 billion. They didn't want to do $3 billion, much less $300 million. I was already thinking bigger than them. So I thought I was going to come home with like, dude, here's what we're going to do. I came home and was like, no, I want to go to $3 billion. And they were like, how are you going to do that? What are you going to do? Man, why don't you just start small? Why don't you just look around here? Why don't you go after these beat up, dilapidated properties? Again, I needed new people. I needed new problems because those are the same old problems I was having already. And I needed a new group of people that thought bigger. I was already thinking bigger now. It expanded my mind. Next, I needed a new group of people that also thought bigger, right? That's the whole purpose of this stuff. If you don't do these things, regardless of whether you're like, hey, look, I already got money. Who do I need to talk to? I'm already keeping money. I'm investing and I'm keeping more of what I made. So I have this leftover money. How do I multiply it? Number one, I'm either going to invest in real estate or I'm going to invest in a business, your business or somebody else's. It's got to multiply this money for me. If we're talking about creating wealth here, we're not talking about just going to go make more money. We're talking about multiplying your money, right? From this thing, you got to get around new people, man. Who do you need to meet next? Who do you need to know? That's huge, man. The easiest way to meet new people is to invest and pay money. Commit the time, commit the money, get around those people, or go to networking events, whatever. People who are thinking big. People like me, like, dude, we're going to build a $50 billion real estate company. I'm going to have 100,000 plus units. I'm going to be one of the largest multifamily owners on the planet. I know I can do it. Greystar did it. MAA did it. Starwood Capital did it. So if they did it, I can do it too. You guys know my concept, like, right? Just look for people on the planet that have done it. If they've done it, you can do it, right? Next, you're going to need a new set of problems. Here's the difference with problems. I didn't understand the whole problem thing. You are creating your own problems because you are the person who can solve them. Usually people are like, man, I got a new problem because they got laid on their plate. If you go off and you make a decision to grow and create wealth for yourself, you're creating your own problem, which means you can create your own solution. Huge. Last one. You need new thinking. You need big, big, big thinking. Just think with this. What is it going to take for you to take, let's say you have $1 million. Let's say you got $1 million. You got $1 million in an account. Not impossible. Like, and if you don't, then you need to be working on this. And if you do, the next thing is like, how do we make that million? How do we turn that $1 million into $10 million? You know what? Let's not even do that. Let's cut it back. Let's just say, how do we turn $1 million, boom, into $3 million? How do we do that? That's 3x. How do we just turn? That's easy. We talk about it all the time. I'll go over it on my real estate show. But in real estate, every $1 buys you $3 worth of real estate. So if you were to invest in one of our deals or invest in our fund or anything like that we're working on, you were to invest $1 million. That $1 million will buy you a $3 million position in that deal, right? Like later when we exit the deal, if we're going to do a 3x, like, or a 2x, whatever, your $1 million would turn into $2 million. Your $1 million, if we if we triple, we'll turn into 3 million. Like, that's how you multiply money, but you can't do that without thinking that way. You can't do that without saying, hey, look, I got this money, I'm going to invest it. Right? And that money, this is a normal thing to do. This isn't abnormal. But when you're thinking about building wealth, you have to think differently. You have to think bigger. Number one, get money. How do you get it? Who do you get it from? Who do you need to meet? Like, are you the right person for that person to meet? Like you have to think through that. Next, how do you keep it? Only spend your money on things that you can write off. That's what the wealthy people do. If you're building wealth, creating wealth for yourself, you don't spend money on Lamborghinis and watches and a bunch of stupid shit. Not in the beginning, right? You don't do that. You don't need it. You're creating wealth. You made a decision to become wealthy, or you made a decision to multiply money for you and take care of your family later on in the future. And last but not least, how do you multiply your money? Where are you going to actually take the money that you have, that you've kept, you've worked your butt off for, you've saved it, you've kept more of what you made, and you take it and you invest it into some vehicle, real estate or another business or your current business that pays you over and over again, that you don't have to continue to work. You're building cash flow, you're building equity, you got capital preservation, you got future appreciation. All of those things are working for you, man. That's how the wealthy continue to get wealthy. They're not playing the same money game. This money game is really not understood by a lot of people. They are great at getting money or making it or earning it. Some people are great at keeping it, but very few people understand the wealthy part of the equation for winning the money game is to build wealth. And that is by learning how to multiply money, which means you got to invest it in something that multiplies it and works for you just as hard as you work for it. So, we had some questions. We're going to go over those on the other video, but I wanted to do this part live. Hopefully you guys tuned in for it. This is In the Zone with Victor Bell. Today is the three steps to building and creating wealth, and I wanted to share that with you. Didn't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm here for you. So, like the channel, subscribe to it. If you want to see more of this show, we're going to be doing a lot. We have the lines being dug in right now to where you can call in. We can answer your questions live. That's happening. But that's probably going to be, I want to say next week, Monday. So anyways, tune in for the show. It's Mondays, 12 p.m. for In the Zone with Victor Bell, where I go over all things money, finance, investing, creating wealth. I'm here for you. I want to help you grow. And Wednesdays at noon, California time. All the shows are at 12 o'clock, right? Wednesday is our real estate show, Real Estate Investing with Victor Bell, and I'm here for you. So if you have questions, leave them in the comment. If you like the channel, subscribe. I would love to have you with me on Mondays and Wednesdays because I want to talk to you guys. I really do. So if you need anything, let me know. I'm here for you. Let's go. Share the show if you love it.